You got a good thing going here now that you've reopened the mines. Don't let it go to waste. Excellent. I think you'll be glad that you made this decision. Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix
You
it
need
up
to talk
right.
some sense into your husband.
Your actions here have been a blessing to us all, sir.
Look at me. I'm a different person. And I have you to thank for it. Doesn't everyone pity the hopeless? Look at me. I'm no better than a beggar. I used to be a miner. A good one, too. I made more gold digging up ore in a month than some people earn in a lifetime. When the mine dried up, I was lost. I have no other trade, so I spend my time drinking my fortune away at the wretched niche. Or I used to, anyway. That fetcher Geldis won't even allow me inside. Said I was bad for business. If I want to spend my last bag of coins getting drunk, that's my business. What does he care? You could try. If you can get that stubborn mule to let me into the niche, I'll make sure you get what's coming to you. Couldn't be better. The sections that are being opened up have revealed some huge deposits of ebony.
For my stand today.
Old Cretius has a nose for exactly where to dig.
Disgusting.
If they'd only listened to him years ago, the town wouldn't have been in such dire straits.
I know why you're here.
At this rate, I'll be able to put a roof over my head in just a few months.
If you want that beautiful wife of yours to stay
It
that
might
way,
take more than a simple
better.
request to change Geldis's mind. It can be quite stubborn.
Have you seen the poor girl? She's a mess. Oh, she used to be richer than Councillor Morwen, and she's spending it all drowning in sorrow. As much as I love making coin, I can't watch her do that anymore. I won't. I suppose you're right. If she wants to spend her life at the bottom of an ale mug, it's her choice. Tell her she's welcome back any time. The finest sujamma to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujamma. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it. Yeah, I suppose they might. Oh well. Watch yourself out there. Looks like an ash storm might be brewing.
Well then, I suppose I'm off to do what I do best. Here, this was something I carried around in happier times. Maybe you can find a use for it. See you. Mines.
Are you here to pray? Or perhaps pay your respects at our ancestral tomb? There where we inter our dead. They are sacred places, meant to honor their passing. Sadly, we've been unable to use the ancestral tomb beneath the temple as of late, and have resorted to other locations to scatter the remains. Those foul vermin, the abominations we call ash spawn, have risen from the ashes of our own ancestors. They're befouling the memories of our forefathers by defiling their remains. Thank you, Wanderer. That would be most kind.
Here, this key should open the door to the tomb.
Be cautious, friend. The ash spawn are soulless beings with no regard for compassion. spirits be praised. I'm hoping you didn't suffer much at the hands of those foul beings.
Please, accept this as a token of my thanks.
The reclamations are the true tribunal. The Daedra that consecrate the Dunmer people. Azura, Methala, and Boethia. We call them the true tribunal because they have reclaimed their place in our hearts from the false tribunal that came before. Sotha Sil, Amalexia, and Vivek represent what was. Beings who won the Dunmer people's hearts with their actions, but blinded them just the same. They were aberrations, false prophets. They used their status as heroes to shield the true tribunal from our minds. But now that they've been destroyed, the light can finally shine upon the House of Reclamations. May Azura, Methala, and Boethia guide you. Excuse me, but the temple is for followers of our faith alone. Outsiders aren't welcome. They serve the best sujama I've ever tasted over the wretched netch. Worth every coin.
With the Ashbourne threat taken care of, I can give my men the rest they deserve. Well done, friend.
Ah, this is bone mold armor. Quite impressive, wouldn't you say?
It's fashioned from actual bone that's been reinforced with a resin-like material and then shaped to form the armor plating.
It might appear brittle, but I'd wager it could stop the blow of a weapon better than iron or steel.
I've had to muster some more men to protect the mine, but I don't really have a problem with that. Second Councillor Arano is concerned that once word reaches the Reavers that the mine has reopened, they might think about paying us a visit.
I say let them try. My men are ready for them. It can be. Even the most experienced warriors can fall prey to petty distractions. They usually didn't amount to much, but they make my job that much harder.
Some of my own men have become quite accustomed to a spirit they called Emberbrand wine.
Despise the stuff myself. It's powerful and tremendously addicting.
I've seen men fail to finish even a single flask.
If I knew where they were stashing the bottles, I'd put an end to it myself.
You would? That would be helpful. I just don't have time to do it myself right now.
They're too smart to have left it in the Bulwark. I'd search one of the abandoned houses on the outskirts of town.
Find me that stash of wine. I'm itching to be rid of it.
Good. This will help me keep things running without having to worry about a bunch of soldiers falling asleep on duty. Here, take this for your trouble.
You can go where you please. What was... You've committed crimes against the Dunmer people of Solstheim. What say you in your defense? Right then. Off to the Bulwark with you. one moment. You look familiar. Stop right there. Where have I seen you before? There's no mistake. You've committed crimes against the Dunmer people of Solstheim, and in the name of House Redoran, it's time to face justice. Good enough. I'll just remove any stolen goods on you, and then you're free to go.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
The blood of wolves runs through your veins, Skaal friend. The first piece of wisdom I teach to any hunter of the Skaal is to ask the simple question. Should I truly kill this beast? We take only what we need, so we preserve the oneness with the land. The Skaal hunt not for sport, but to survive. We believe that all creatures have a right to live as they will, and when we take what we need from them, we thank the beast for its gifts. The less we disturb the land and the beasts within it, the more we respect the wishes of the Allmaker. In days past, my brother Torkild and I would share the hunt, but that was long ago. I wish I could tell you. He had a wild gleam in his eye, more so than most. In my darkest times, I fear he fell in among the werebears of the glacier. Twisted beasts, a curse of Hirsine. True bears are noble and great creatures of the wild. But the Daedra have no skill for creation, so they defile the Allmaker's workings. I've heard tell of men who, by curse or by heart's desire, become transformed into one of those vile things. It is a pitiable fate, and one that I fear has fallen to my brother. He set off from here so long ago, it's hard to say. Could be in Hammerfell for all I know. If you happen to cross his path, be wary. He was a fierce warrior as a man. If he fell prey to his more bestial side, he could be deadly. When we stalk large game, I lead our hunters in tracking the beast. It is also a way of saying that I am the most skilled hunter in the village. I doubt that an outsider could truly understand, but I hope my words have helped to answer your question. All right.
I fear what would have happened if you hadn't freed us.
There was a great brown bear on the slopes the other day. I could swear by the Allmaker that he was watching the village.
My son and I gather items to trade with travelers who visit the village. Many hunters pass through our village, and sometimes the Dark Elves of Ravenrock visit us. They bring us things from their homeland that we can't find on the island, such as spices, fine cloth, and ores that we cannot mine here. It's true we Skaal prefer a simpler life than some, but we do still enjoy a luxury from time to time. His name is Nicholas. He's a good lad, strong and loyal. I only wish he wasn't so eager to leave the village. I've tried to tell him that the world beyond our lands is dangerous and cruel, but he won't listen. You would do that? I know he would listen to you. You've been out there in the wide world. You know its perils. Yes, perhaps you can convince him. I would be grateful if you would do this thing, outsider. I hope that you can make my son see wisdom.
I heard that you and Tharstan explored an ancient crypt. That sounds like an exciting adventure. I've seen outsiders in our village before.
None were like you. That's right. I want to go out into the world and earn great glory. I want to hunt the deadliest creatures and claim vast riches. I'm wary of living in this village. I want to do something with my life other than farm, fish, and hunt deer. I know it must be hard for an adventurer such as you to understand this, but we Skaal live very boring lives. You are? I admit, I was not expecting to hear that. Yes, you're right. She still mourns for my father, and having me near brings her comfort. You have my oath that I will not leave the village until my mother is ready to let me go. I can see that in my eagerness for adventure, I have forgotten my duties as a son and as a Skaal. You have helped me to see wisdom, and I thank you for that, Skaal friend.
If Nicholas leaves me now, I will be truly alone. May the Allmaker bless you with many sons and daughters, outsider. Once again, you have shown that you are a true friend of the Skaal. I wish that I could give you a reward that is equal to the joy in my heart, but I don't have much to offer one who has so much already. Perhaps these will prove useful to you. These herbs are unique to the island, and their light cannot be found elsewhere.
My father was a noble man, and a true Skaal. I have been preparing for it all my life. There is no question that I'm ready, but... It is not right that I should say this, because I must honor my father's wishes, but... This is a path I never chose. I always thought that I would be a great hunter, or even a village chieftain. Not if Fanari has anything to say about it. When it comes to being chieftain, she is like a wolf with her jaws clamped tight upon a fresh kill. But that's all right. The Skaal need a shaman, and I know that is my place. She died when I was very young. She was caught in a terrible snowstorm while returning home from gathering firewood. You must understand that for the Skaal, life is a constant hardship. We take nothing for granted. We cannot afford to. Between the wolves, the weather, and the threats in the south, even a simple task like gathering wood for the fire can turn deadly in an instant. We are bound to this land, like a great pine with roots that run as deep as the tree is tall. I know it must seem strange to you, but for us, the thought of leaving our village is equally strange. The land and the Skaal are one. There is no other way to say it. I will follow you, Skaal friend, but I must return to the village afterward. Very well. It has been an honor, Skaal friend.
It's so good to see you again.
Fear to think what would have happened if you hadn't saved me from the elves.
My mother was Skaal, but she left the village and I was born in Skyrim. Well, my mother used to say that I was born an angry child. It's true that my heart has always been restless, and fighting was the only way I could find peace. I was a soldier for a time, and then a mercenary, but I was never truly happy until I came here. Well, the dragons are a constant danger, but so far they have taken little interest in our village. Thank the Allmaker for that. But have they forced us to change the way we live our lives? No, not at all. They are but one more hardship, added to the many we already endure. A trade ship from Skyrim struck ice off the coast near the village, and the Skaal took in the surviving sailors. My mother fell in love with one of the sailors, my father, and eventually returned with him to Skyrim. Sadly, no. She died in Falkreath, where I was born. I came across a few of my mother's old things not long ago. Among them was a necklace that my father gave to her when they were married. I believe she would want it placed upon her tombstone in Falkreath, as a symbol of her undying love and the great sacrifice she made for me. If you find yourself in Falkreath, please give this amulet to the priest Brunel and tell him that I sent you. He will understand. I don't have much to give in reward, but return to me when the task is done and I'll do what I can. Thank you, Skaal friend. All right then.
Papa, when can I go on my first hunt?
I've told you before, you're not old enough yet.
I just want to see. I promised not to get in the way of the hunters, and I'm not afraid of the beasts in the forest.
I have given my answer to her. I know you are brave and have the heart of a brave she-wolf. All things have a time and place.
Yes, Papa.
Tarstan hasn't stopped talking about the crypt you explored with him. You risked your life to save Baldur. Your name will be honored in our village. I was chosen by the people of the village when our last leader, Skaf the Giant, departed the cold world to join the Allmaker. I suppose I've always spoken my mind and tried to do what's best for the Skaal. That's why the others call me Fanari Strongboys. We are Nords, much like those you'll find in Skyrim. Long ago, our path diverged from that of our cousins on the mainland. We live as one with the land, for the land provides all that we need. Also, like the Nords of old, we embrace the Allmaker. We do not worship the 9 gods of the Empire. Bandits sometimes come at night to steal our food. They think that stealing from us is easier than hunting for themselves. It will be dangerous, but if you'll deal with these thieves, we would be most grateful. Then may the Allmaker give you the strength of a great bear and make your will as firm as stone. All right then.
Over here.
Never should have come here.
No sign. Who?
Thirst for sky. Allmaker craves the night of sun. He hears the underslake of blood dart.
The blood of wolves runs through your veins, Skaal friend. This is by his hand, for certain. It looks like I was right. He was taken in by that. Where did you find this? I understand. That's not an existence I would wish on anyone. I hope you gave him a swift end. Good. Thank you for setting my mind to rest. Now I can hope the Allmaker will show mercy to him in the beyond. Let me impart some of the wisdom of the Skaal to you. You've done me a service. I will do you one in kind.
Have you put those thieving bandits to the sword? Your kindness warms my heart as sunlight warms the skin on a cold day. The Skaal are once again in your debt, outsider.
Good day, friend. Keeping well? Take a look. Right then.
Word is spreading like mage fire. The great evil has been vanquished. You have truly saved us all.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope. Morwen, you say? Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Left to join her mother's people on Salt's time, as I recall. I knew her parents quite well, you know. Frea and Ulfar were good people, very much in love. Now, what can I do for young Morwen? Ah, yes, Fea's silver necklace. It was a wedding gift, and she rarely took it off. I'll be glad to oblige. What a touching gesture, to display the symbol of her devotion in such a way. Tell Morwen I'll be happy to grant her request. I'm sure it will bring joy to her mother and father as they walk in Falkreath.
And the scales sharpen scythes. Men ran and they cowered, and they fought and they died. They burned and
What
they
are you doing
bled
that for?
as they issued their cries. We need saviors to free us from Alduin's rage. Heroes on the field of this new war to wage. And if Alduin wins, man is gone from this world, lost in the shadow of the black wings unfurled.
My mother was song, but she left the village and I was born in Skyrim. You brought warmth to my heart, and I'm in your debt. Please, accept this as a token of gratitude. Once again, you've proven yourself an ally to the Skaal.
That sweet song of Skyrim, sky shattering.
Hey, I got you something. Hope you like it.
And so the tongues freed us from Alduin's rage. The gift of voice ushered in a new age. And if Alduin's eternal, then eternity's done. For his story is over, and the dragons are gone.